Good. Yeah, well, it's great to see you all. I'm Lauren. This is my friend Nate. He's going to be joining us on guitar today, and we're going to be learning Morning Has Broken. So let's go ahead and just start by Nate and I will play the tune for you all just so you can kind of hear it, and then we will get into breaking it down so you can learn it. Okay, so here we go. 1, 2, 3. So yeah, it's got a nice little melody. It translates nicely to the fiddle. And we're in the key of C major. We're in 3/4 time for this one. So let's go ahead and play a C major scale together. And we're just gonna do 1 octave. All right, so let's go ahead and just start with this first phrase. What I'm gonna do is I'll just play it slowly and then just try your best to repeat it. And we'll go through it a few times. Okay, so here it goes. Go ahead and give that a try. Well, nice job, everyone, for learning this melody. Hopefully you enjoy it. It's really a beautiful melody, and like I said, it translates really nicely to the violin. It kind of sounds like it was meant for the violin. And there's actually some things that we can add to this, being that it has presumably either Irish or Scottish origins in terms of the melody. We can kind of play into that a little bit with the types of inflections and ornaments that we use when we play. So can anybody tell me what some of those are? Does anybody know anything about different types of ornaments that we would maybe use in an Irish or Scottish tune? Anyone know the names? A turn? Totally. Stops. Yep. Double stops, you could. I would leave the double stops more to the chords, just kind of having that solid drone. There aren't a ton of double stops in Irish or Scottish tunes. Usually they're pretty melody heavy, but for the chords that we're about to, for sure, we'll have the double stops. Anything else besides the turn? Any other types of ornaments that we can use with the left hand? Anyone know the names? Well, another one that I would recommend, and we can talk about it here in a minute, is the flick. And for anybody who doesn't know what a flick is, that's really just if we have a note that we're playing, maybe it's a sustained note, maybe it's a shorter one, and then we just take our either whatever finger is available to us. So in this case, I'm holding down an E with my first finger. I can either use my second or my third finger, and I'm literally just gonna flick the D string. So if you want to go ahead and just try that, let's just play an E together, and we'll just flick with the third finger. Good. Well, I want to make sure we get to the chords because we have a lot here. So I would recommend, if you don't have the sheet music in front of you right now, I would, if you're able to, go ahead and pull it up because we're going to have the chords listed out for you on there, and that way you can kind of follow along because we do have several chord changes in this case. So that's really the best way, is to just be able to see what the names of those chords are. So the first one, we do have that little walk in, and then our first chord is C major, so we would play a C on the G string and then an E on the D string. We would play both of those notes together. So go ahead and try that. We've got C and E. Good. Yep, so that's our first chord, and then our next chord is a D minor. And in this case, I'm just gonna go ahead and play it the same way I would play a D major chord. So can anybody tell me what notes they would play for a D major chord? Or in this case, D minor, but same situation if we're on the fiddle. D and A. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I would do. So I would start with that low A and then just play the open D and just have those together. Good. Yeah. So somebody earlier mentioned drones and then somebody else mentioned double stops. This is where we can sort of implement those. There's nothing crazy going on with the chords except for the amount of changes that we have, but otherwise we're not doing any sort of shuffle pattern with the chords or anything like that. We're just going to be kind of holding and sustaining these chords as we go like a drone to really support the melody because it is a slower tune. So let's go ahead and try the change between our C chord and then our D minor chord. So let's start on our C.